Good morning, students. Welcome to the third session on Introduction and Analysis of Plane Trusses, that is Module 1 in the subject Analysis of Determinate Structures. So in the last session we have discussed about the conditions of equilibrium, compatibility conditions and linear and non-linear analysis. So in this session let us take a look at the contents of today's session. So in this session we will be discussing about determinate and indeterminate structures, static indeterminacies of structural systems and few examples on how to find the degree of indeterminacy, static indeterminacy of a given structure. Okay. So first let us understand what is meant by determinate and indeterminate structures. As the title of the subject is Analysis of Determinate Structures. So in the last sessions we have understood what do you mean by a structure. So now we will discuss what is meant by determinate and indeterminate structures. Okay. So for your syllabus it is restricted to only determinate structures. In the next semester you are going to analyze indeterminate structures as well. Okay. So let us understand determinate structure. How we can define a determinate structure means a determinate structures are those which can be analyzed just by the use of basic equilibrium equations. Okay. So that means if a structure has some unknown reactive components wherein those reactions can be found just by the application of equilibrium conditions, then that type of structures are called as determinate structures. Okay. So we know that for a two-dimensional structure we have got three equilibrium conditions, that is sigma fx equals 0, fy equals 0 and sigma m equals 0. Whereas for a three-dimensional structure we have got six equilibrium conditions, that is sigma fx, sigma fy and sigma fz is equal to 0 and sigma mx, sigma my and sigma mz is equal to 0. Okay. So but we are restricting for our syllabus, we have got only two-dimensional structures. So in this module we will be applying only three basic equilibrium conditions. Okay. So these are some of the examples of determinate structures. Okay. So this is a simply supported beam wherein if you count the reaction, this is a hinged support and this is a roller support. Okay. So at the hinged end we know that there will be two reactive components, VA and HA, and at the roller support there will be one reactive component. So total number of reactions for this simply supported beam will be 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. So we have got three equilibrium conditions and the unknowns are 3. So by using the three equilibrium conditions we can find the unknowns. Hence this beam becomes a determinate structure. Okay. And now this is a cantilever beam. So cantilever beam is fixed at one end and free at the other end. So at the fixed end we have got three reactive components, VA, HA and moment, MA. Okay. So at the free end there will not be any reactive components. Hence total number of reactions for a cantilever beam will be 3. Equations available are 3. Therefore this becomes a determinate structure. So 3 unknowns can be found by 3 equilibrium conditions. Hence this becomes a determinate structure. And we have got an overhanging beam. So this is a hinge, again this is a roller. So total unknowns will be 3. Therefore 3 and the available equations are 3. Therefore it becomes a determinate structure. Okay. And this is a frame where in one end is hinged and the other is on the roller. So total number of unknowns, again it becomes 3. Therefore this type of frames they are determinate structures. And then cantilever bent. Okay. So this is a cantilever bent. One end is fixed, other end is free. So again the unknowns are 3. So equations are 3. It becomes a determinate structure. And this is a truss. Okay. So one end is hinged, other is roller. Again the total number of reactions are 3. So this type of trusses are determinate structure. Okay, so we can observe that in all these cases the total number of reactions, either they should be equal or less than the equilibrium conditions, then only we can find the unknowns or reactive components. Okay, if in any structure, if the total number of reactive reactions are equal or less than the equations of equilibrium, then we can say that that structure is a determinate structure. So then, how we can define a redundant or an indeterminate structure? Okay, so redundant or indeterminate structures are those which cannot be analyzed by merely use of basic equilibrium equations. Okay, so just by the application of equilibrium conditions we cannot find all the unknowns. Okay, so that means the unknowns will be more than the available equilibrium conditions, hence we cannot solve all the unknowns. Okay, so those type of structures are called as redundant or indeterminate structures. So along with the basic equilibrium conditions, you need some extra conditions. They are called as compatibility conditions. Okay, so when the unknowns are more than the available equilibrium conditions, to analyze those type of structures you need additional equations called as compatibility conditions. So how to arrive at the compatibility conditions we have discussed in the last session. Okay, a statically indeterminate structure may be further classified as, it may be externally indeterminate, or it may be internally indeterminate, or it may be indeterminate both externally and internally. Okay, so an externally indeterminate structure means what? A structure is usually externally indeterminate or redundant if the reactions at the supports cannot be determined by using three equations of equilibrium, or by using the equations of equilibrium. Okay, so that means if you consider any structure like this, okay, so the total number of equations or unknowns, sorry, not equations, unknowns, total number of unknowns for this structure are 3 plus 1 plus 1. So total number of equation unknowns are 5 and the equations available are 3. Hence we cannot find all the 5 reactions by using 3 equilibrium conditions. Therefore this type of structures becomes externally indeterminate. Externally means you have to look at the reactions. Okay, so here is one more example. This is a fixed end, this is a fixed end, and this is a hinged end. Okay, so total number of reactions will be 3 plus 3 plus 2, 8 number of unknowns are there. Okay, and then we have got 3 equilibrium conditions. Okay, and apart from that an internal hinge is provided at this point. Okay, so therefore it provides an additional equation. Okay, that is called as compatibility condition. Okay, what is that additional condition? Is bending moment at the internal hinge is 0. What we have applied in the analysis of arches. Okay, in 3 hinged arches we used to apply the third fourth condition as bending moment at the hinge, third point, that is at the crown. Okay, that is taken as 0. Same thing. So here an internal hinge is provided at this point, therefore this gives an additional equation. Okay, so total number of equations becomes 4 and the unknowns are 8. Hence 8 cannot be found by 4 equations. Therefore again it becomes externally indeterminate structure. Okay, so now we will go for internally indeterminate structure. Okay, so normally structure will be internally indeterminate only when for a truss member, trusses. Okay, so for all the framed structures, okay, so they will be normally indeterminate only by externally. Okay, but for a truss member it has to be determinate both by external as well as from internal. Okay, to call it as a determinate structure. So an internal indeterminate structure means when we call a structure as an internally indeterminate means, the example is truss only. A truss is statically indeterminate internally if the total number of members, that is m is number of members, is greater than 2j minus 3. Okay, where j is number of joints. Okay, this 3 is nothing but number of equations. Okay, so for example, if you take a truss member like this, okay, an example of a truss, okay, so it has got extra reactions, one hinge, one roller, so this becomes externally determinate. So three reactive components are there, three equations are available with us, so all the three unknowns can be found by the three equations, therefore it is externally determinate. Okay, so now let us check whether this structure is internally determinate or not. Okay, so let us apply this condition m. Let us count the members. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, so 10 members are there. So at this point it is not a joint. Okay, so only the members are crossing without a joint. Okay, so 10 members are available in this structure, and we will count the number of joints. How many joints are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6 joints are there. Okay, so 2 into 6, that is nothing but 2 6 are 12. Okay, 2 6 are 12 minus 3. 12 ಅಲ್ಲಿ minus 3. If you deduct 3, you will get 9. Okay, and the members are 10. Okay, so members are more than this 2j minus 3, hence it becomes internally indeterminate. If m is equal to or less than 2j minus 3, then it becomes a internally determinate structure. So for this case, it is m is more than 2j minus 3, therefore it is internally indeterminate structure. Okay, so next, both externally and internally indeterminate. When we call a structure as both internally and externally indeterminate means, so we have already known that both externally, a truss is statically indeterminate both externally and internally when all the reactions cannot be determined from the conditions of equilibrium. Okay, and the second point is, and the total number of members m is greater than 2j minus 3. When it satisfies these two conditions, then we can classify that structure as indeterminate both by externally and internally. Okay, so externally it refers to the reactive components, and internally it refers to the number of members. Okay, so let us take an example. So this is an example, so wherein 1 2 3 4 hinges are provided. Okay, so 4 means 2 reactive components at each hinge, so 4 into 2 is 8 reactions are there, and the available equations are 3, so which we cannot find all the 8 unknowns by using 3 reactive components, hence this becomes externally indeterminate. Okay, and internally indeterminate, let us count the members. So there are 11 members are there. I think this is internally determinate. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 7 joints are there. Okay, 7 into 2 14 minus 3, again it becomes 11. Okay, so m is equal to 2j minus 3, so this is internally determinate, whereas this one is internally indeterminate. This is externally indeterminate. Okay, suppose if there is one more member like this, okay, so then this would have been internally indeterminate also. Okay, so that means when we look into the reactive components, it has to be externally determinate. and when we look into the members, it has to be internally determinate to call it as a determinate structure. Okay, when it does not satisfy these two criteria, we can classify it as indeterminate structure. Okay, so next let us take a look at the differences between the determinate and indeterminate structures. Okay, so for determinate structure, equilibrium conditions are adequate to analyze the structure, whereas equilibrium conditions are not adequate to fully analyze the given structure in indeterminate structures. Okay, bending moment or shear force at any section is independent of the material property of the structure, whereas in indeterminate structure, bending moment and shear force at any section depends upon the material property. And then the bending moment and shear force at any section is independent of the cross section of or moment of inertia, whereas here in indeterminate structure, they depends upon the cross section or moment of inertia of the member. Temperature variations do not cause stresses. Okay, whereas in indeterminate structures, temperature variations does cause stresses, and no stresses are caused due to lack of fit. Okay, and stresses are caused due to lack of fit. Okay, lack of fit means either a member will be shortened by by certain length, or it may be longer by certain length. Okay, so then that is the lack of fit. And temperature stresses, I hope you have studied in your SOM subject. When the member is subjected to variation in temperature, they does experience stresses when they are restricted for the expansion. Okay, in determinate, no such stresses are developed, whereas in indeterminate structures, temperature stresses will be developed. So extra conditions like compatibility of displacements are not required to analyze the structure, whereas in indeterminate structure, compatibility conditions are required to analyze a given structure along with the equilibrium conditions. Okay, so these are the differences between determinate and indeterminate structures. Next, let us move on to how to find the static indeterminacies of structural systems. Okay, so these are the number of equations required over and above the equations of static equilibrium for the analysis of a structure is known as degree of static indeterminacy, or it is also called as degree of redundancy of the structure. Okay, so we have discussed, or we have defined the determinate structure. That is nothing but the unknowns can be determined by using the available equilibrium conditions, whereas in indeterminate structure, the unknowns cannot be determined by using the available equilibrium conditions. Okay, so that means the number of unknowns will be more than the equilibrium conditions. Okay, so to find those remaining unknowns, okay, suppose if there are 8 unknowns are there, and then we have got 3 equilibrium conditions, so 8 minus 3 means it will be left with 5 unknowns. Okay, so it is the number of equations required over and above the equations of static equilibrium. Okay, so 3, if you deduct 3 out of 8, there will be 5 unknowns will be left. So to find the 5 unknowns, you need how many equations? Again, you need 5 equations. They may be called as compatibility conditions. Okay, so that number is called as degree of static indeterminacy, or it is also called as degree of redundancy. So the additional number of equations required above the static equilibrium conditions, they are called as degree of, that is called as degree of redundancy or degree of static indeterminacy. Okay, so it is denoted by ds, degree of static indeterminacy. S represents static indeterminacy. So it can be found by using dse plus dsi. What is this dse and dsi means? ds is degree of static indeterminacy or redundancy. dse is degree of external indeterminacy. So externally indeterminate means it refers to reactive components, okay, and DSI is degree of internal indeterminacy, which refers to members, okay. So now we will find DSE is found by this equation, that is actual number of reactions or unknowns, that is number of reactions, minus available static equilibrium equations minus number of equilibrium conditions, normally it will be 3, and then minus number of internal hinges, okay. So that means if there are any internal hinges provided in the structure, so that gives an additional equation of bending moment at that point as 0, okay. So this is the equation to be used to find the external indeterminacy of a given structure, okay. Next, internal indeterminacy of a given structure is found by, this should be I, okay, DSI is equal to R minus E minus H, where R is number of reactions, E is number of equilibrium conditions, and minus H. This is what I have represented, not DSI, this is DSE only, that is external indeterminacy. This is number of unknowns or reactions minus number of available equilibrium conditions minus number of hinges, okay. So that is what it is written here, R minus E minus H. R is number of reactions, E is equilibrium conditions, minus H is number of hinges. And this E is equal to 3 for plane structures, that is nothing but for two-dimensional structures equilibrium conditions are 3, and for three-dimensional or space structures equilibrium conditions are 6, okay. You can substitute these values depending upon the given problem, okay. And internal indeterminacy DSI is calculated by these formula, you have to remember this, okay. M minus of 2j minus 3 for two-dimensional plane trusses, okay. So for a two-dimensional plane truss, if the equation M minus of 2j minus 3, if it satisfies, okay, so then it is that whatever you are going to obtain, that is you have to use this equation to find the internal indeterminacy, okay. And then DSI is equal to 3m minus of 3j minus 3 for two-dimensional plane frames. This is for trusses and this is for frames or beams. M minus of 3j minus 3, okay. Why 3 means we are applying 3, there will be 3 what we call it as, whenever a member subjected to a beam member or internal force, whenever a member is applied with the load, it undergoes 3 types of deformations, that is axial deformation, or not deformation, it experiences stresses axially, shear forces, axial force, shear force, and bending moment, okay. So these are the internal responses for a applied force, external force, okay. So for any internal so 3 responses are there for any member, therefore it is multiplied with 3, okay. And then for a 3-dimensional space frames, the equation to calculate internal indeterminacy is 6m minus of 6j minus 6 space frames, okay. And then for space trusses, it is m minus of 3j minus 6 for 3-dimensional space trusses, okay. So for your syllabus, it is restricted to plane frames and trusses only, so you have to remember these 2 equations, okay. Let us take examples on how to find the degree of indeterminacy, static indeterminacy, okay. So it is given by ds is equal to DSE plus DSI, external indeterminacy plus internal indeterminacy, okay. Let us take the first example. It is an overhanging beam, okay. One end is hinged other end is, and at the other point it is a roller. So total number of reactions is 3. Okay. So we have external indeterminacy calculated as R minus E minus H. So total number of reactions are 3 minus available equations are 3 and no internal hinges are there, therefore 0. So 3 minus 3 is 0. Okay. So when the external indeterminacy is 0, how we can classify it? It becomes a determinate structure. Okay. When DSE is equal to or less than or equal to 0, we can classify it as a determinate structure by externally. Okay. If it is 0, it is determinate and stable. Okay, we can consider that structure is stable. Okay. If it is less than 0, even though it is determinate, but it is unstable, the structure will be unstable. Suppose if I provide one more roller here, so 2 reactive components will be there. 2 minus equations are 3, 2 minus 3 is minus 1. So that means it is not stable. If it is 0, then only we can take it as stable. 0 or more than 0, it is stable. Okay. If it is less than 0, that is external indeterminacy, if it is less than 0, it becomes unstable structure. Even though it is determinate, it becomes an unstable structure. Okay. So now to find internal indeterminacy, we have this equation 3m minus of 3j minus 3. Okay. So m is number of members. This is one member. This is just an extension of the same member. Therefore 3 into 1 minus of 3j joints. How many joints are there? 1 and 2. 2 joints are there. 3 into 2 minus 3. Okay. So if we simplify it, 3 into 1 is 3, minus 3 2s are 6, minus 3, 6 minus 3 is again 3, 3 minus 3 will be 0. So if you simplify it, again it is 0. So therefore, how we can classify it? The degree of static 0 plus 0, DSE is 0 plus internal indeterminacy is also 0. Therefore, static indeterminacy is 0. Okay, degree of static indeterminacy for this problem is 0. So we can classify that it is statically determinate both externally and internally. Okay, and we can also write it is stable, and also we can write it as a stable structure. Okay. Let us take the second example. It's a continuous beam. Okay, so total number, one end is fixed, other two are roller. Okay, total number of reactions are 5. So external indeterminacy is R minus E minus H. R is 3 plus 1 plus 1, total is 5. Okay, minus equations is 3. So 5 minus 3 is 2. Okay, and let us find internal indeterminacy as 3m minus of 3j minus 3. 3 into 2 members, 1 and 2. 2 members are there. Minus of 3 into number of joints are 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 into 3 minus 3. If you simplify it, it will be 0. Okay. So now this is externally indeterminate and internally determinate. Okay. So therefore, the degree of static indeterminacy 2 plus 0 is 2. Okay, degree of static indeterminacy of this structure is 2. So we can write it as statically indeterminate externally by second degree. It is indeterminate by second degree, and it is internally determinate. Okay, and it is internally determinate. Whether this structure is stable or not, definitely it's a stable structure. Why? This DSE is more than 0. Hence it's a stable structure. Okay. Next, the third case is a fixed beam wherein 2 internal hinges are provided. Okay. So external indeterminacy, so total number of reactions are 3 plus 3, 6. Okay. 3 plus 3 minus available equations are 3 minus internal hinges. H is number of hinges. 1, 2. 2 hinges are there. So 3 plus 3, 6 minus 3, 3 minus 2, 1. So external indeterminacy is 1. Okay. and internal indeterminacy is 3m minus of 3j minus 3. So number of member, it's a single member, okay, 3 into 1 minus 2, 3 into 2 joints 1 and 2, 2 joints minus 3, 3j minus 3. So if you simplify, it will be 0. Therefore degree of static indeterminacy is 1, okay, and we can classify it as statically indeterminate externally by first degree and internally determinate, and it is also a stable structure. This is the fourth example. A frame, one end is hinged, other on the roller. So total 3 unknowns are there, 2 plus 1 minus 3 equations, so that will be 0. R minus 3 is 0, so it is externally determinate, okay. And internally 3m minus 3j minus 3, 3 into number of members 1 2 3, okay, 3 into 3 minus number of joints are 1 2 3 4, 3 into 4 minus 3. If you simplify, that is also 0. Therefore the degree of indeterminacy is 0, and we can classify it as determinate both externally and internally. This structure is determinate both externally and internally, and since DSE is 0, it's a stable structure, okay. Next, let's take the fifth example. This is also a portal frame. So total number of reactions at these 3 fixity will be 9. 3 plus 3 plus 3, 9, okay. 9 minus 3, it is equal to 6, okay. And internal indeterminacy is 3 into number of members 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 members are there, okay. 3 into 8 minus joints 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 joints are there, okay. 3 into 8 minus of 3 into 8 minus 3, so if you simplify it, it will be 3, okay. So static indeterminacy is 6 plus 3, it will be 9, okay. So then how we can classify it? Statically indeterminate externally by 6th degree and internally indeterminate by 3rd degree, okay. And whether it's a stable structure or not, definitely it's a stable structure, okay. Next we'll consider one more example of a frame with an internal hinge. So this is a roller, okay, fixed end and then hinge. So total number of reactions 2 plus 3, 5 plus 1, 6, okay. So the degree of external indeterminacy is 2 plus 3 plus 1, that is 6, minus 3, okay, number of equations, minus 1 internal hinge, okay. So that gives 2, external indeterminacy as 2, okay. And internal indeterminacy 3m minus 3j minus 3, minus of 3j minus 3. So number of members 1 2 3 4, okay, 4 members are there. Number of joints 1 2 3 4 5 joints, 1 2 3 4 5 joints are there, okay. So if you simplify it, it will be 0. Therefore degree of static indeterminacy is 2. 2 plus 0 is 2, okay. And then we can write it as statically indeterminate externally by 2nd degree, and it is internally determinate, and also it's a stable structure, okay. Let us take a space frame for your calculations as an example, but this is not for your syllabus, just for a reference, okay. So externally indeterminate equation is R minus E minus H, okay. Total number of reactions 1 2 3 4 here fixity are there, 4 3s are 12, okay. 4 supports with the fixed end, so therefore 3 reactive components, and then minus 6 equilibrium conditions. So therefore the indeterminacy is 6, and internal indeterminacy is 6m minus 6j minus 6, that is 6 into 8 minus of 6 into 8 minus 6. 8 members are there, 8 joints are there, so again it's a 6. So therefore the static indeterminacy is 12. So we can write it, it is externally indeterminate by 6th degree, and externally and internally it is indeterminate by 6th degree. Okay. So let us take examples on truss now. This is a truss. Okay. So one end is fixed, hinged, and the other is on the roller. So total number of reactions will be 2 plus 1, 3. So externally indeterminacy equation is R minus E minus H. 3 minus 3 is 0. And the equation to calculate internal indeterminacy is M minus of 2J minus 3. Okay. Number of members 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 members are there. Okay. 11 minus number of joints 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 joints are there. Okay. 11 minus of 2 into 7 minus 3. So that will be 0. Okay. So hence the degree of redundancy is 0, and it is determinate both externally and internally. Okay. Let us take one more example. So the reactive components are 2 plus 1 plus 1, 4. Okay. 4 minus 3 is 1. And internally indeterminacy, how many members are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 members are there. Okay. And 8 joints are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 15 minus of 2 into 8 minus 3. So which gives a value of 2. So therefore degree of redundancy is equal to 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. It is indeterminate to third degree. Okay. We can write it as it is indeterminate externally by first degree and internally by second degree, or you can write it as it is indeterminate by third degree total. You can write like that also. Therefore it's a stable structure. This is also a stable structure. Okay. Let us take this last example, 3D truss or a space truss. Okay. So all hinges are there. So 6 unknowns will be there. 6 minus 6 equations. So it will be 0. And then M minus 3J minus 6 here. Okay. Number of members 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members are there. And 4 joints are there. So 3 into 4 minus 6. So if you simplify it, it will be again 0. Therefore the degree of static indeterminacy is 0. It is determinate both externally and internally. Okay. So that is for today's session. So in this session we have discussed about the meaning, or we have discussed about the definition for determinate and indeterminate structures, how to find the degree of indeterminacies, okay, for plane structures as well as for space structures, okay, and that includes trusses as well. Okay. In the next session we will discuss about the kinematic indeterminacy. So this is about static indeterminacy. In the next session we will take it how to find the kinematic indeterminacy for given structure. Okay. Thank you.